Most family businesses lack these things. They don't have a strategic plan. Why don't they have a strategic plan? Because it's based off what they want to do. Is that what you said? Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I'll bet against you every single time if you don't have a buy-sell agreement. If you don't have it, it's a disaster, guaranteed. A buy-sell agreement is a way for you to get out of the business. It's a way for me to get rid of you. I once asked a guy in a family business this question. I said, if you wanted to leave, they own a lot of real estate. They have no incentive to sell. The longer they own it, the richer they get. That was the theory. So I asked this guy, if you wanted to leave the business, how would you get out? He said, well, if I left, I'd be leaving everything on the table. I'd take nothing with me because they're not going to sell anything. So let me ask you again, how would you get out? And his response was, I don't feel like I can. I feel like I'm in prison. I can't get out. I give up millions of dollars to walk away. So my advice to this family was get a buy-sell agreement. Because once you have a buy-sell agreement, part of the problem for them was they were battling constantly. They were just not, there was no respect among these people. And they knew that I could say anything or do it. Well, one in particular knew I could say anything or do anything that I wanted to you because you can't walk away. I could call you any name in the book, and what are you going to do? It was not a good environment for the business. So it was a huge problem. Get a buy-sell agreement. As soon as they got a buy-sell agreement, a lot of the bad behavior stopped because they started to know this person can now invoke the buy-sell agreement, take their money, force me to pay them off, and then they can leave. So it stopped a lot of problems. Okay, hold board meetings. So the advantage of being in a family business is there's no board. The disadvantage is there's no board. I advise family businesses have a board of advisors, not a board of directors, but a board of advisors. Be responsible to someone else. It forces discipline that you might not otherwise have. So I'll let you read through that. There's a lot of issues up here that family businesses need to deal with. Strategic planning, that's every business. A board of advisors, well, that's pretty much every business. There's only one thing on this list, I guess, that's not business's business. And which one is it? Having family meetings. So I kind of come around after we've had this whole thing, we've gotten to the point, I kind of come around that family business is just like every other business on the planet. Some other issues, but it's structurally a little different, but they're pretty similar. And I really do struggle with this. So I've come up with what I think are 4 keys. These are the 4 keys to success in a family business. This is, if you're going to be entrepreneurial in a family business, this is to me, these are the 4 keys. The first thing you need to do is create a metric of success. What do I mean by that?
Personal
goals. What?
Yeah, personal goals, or it might be different, money, or define it.
Define it. It could be, look, I want to play golf 2 days a week. I want a great product. I want to make a lot of money. I want this to last for 500 years. I want my entire family in the business. Whatever it is, just state it. Because your competitor has. Your competitor has stated their goal. And what's your competitor's goal? Own the market. They're a public corporation. We had a, did you guys ever hear the New York Times? It was, I hope I'm getting the right one here. Drawing a blank on the woman's name, but what's that? No, no. I'm sorry, not the Times, the Washington Post.
Oh, Graham?
Yeah, Catherine Graham. You've heard of them too, right? The Washington Post, family business. But they did a fabulous job with bringing in an outside CEO. So we had this guy, Alan Spoon. He was the CEO for a while. He came in and he gave a presentation to family businesses. And he summed it up perfectly. He said, look, you guys have a choice. He got the family together. He goes, you guys have a choice. Well, you're sitting there and bickering among yourselves, paraphrasing, of course, here, but while you're sitting there bickering among yourselves, your competitors are planning every day to eat your lunch. So you have a choice. Bicker and fight among yourselves or fight against them. You know, he did a fabulous job, worked with Donald Graham, did some fabulous work, and it was very successful. But you have to identify your metric of success. And in part, it should be to be a well-run business, financially viable. And that leads to the next thing. Be a, and I put in parentheses and italics, professional organization. Be a professional business.
Respectful.
Yeah. The way I think a lot of people in the family business world would say, would categorize what you're saying is, have boundaries. Look, this is a business. Act respectfully with boundaries to the people you're working with. That person's not 12 years old anymore. They're a professional. Treat them like a professional in a business. If you want to treat them like a 12-year-old, wait till you're at home.
Leaving your emotions at the door. And
Perfect. Yeah.
Dr. Phil stuff related.
You know what? I ask this question to people in a family business if they're acting this way. I'll say, do you own stock in a company? And they'll typically say yes. And well, I don't know which one, but let's just take Walmart for an example. Just imagine if you own stock in Walmart and they weren't doing things the way you liked. Would you get in your car, drive to Bentonville, Arkansas, walk in, start screaming and yelling, where are the Waltons? I've got to talk to them right now. And then start screaming and yelling at them about what they're not doing properly. How they're not doing this right and they're not doing that right. And they'll say, no, I wouldn't do that. Say, so why do you do that with your brother or your father? Anybody ever see that in a family business where one person's yelling and screaming at the other? Got one head nod. You've seen that? Happens all the time. So act professionally. Run the business professionally. So there's a lot of things in there that you want to do to be professional. Capitalize on the positive attributes of your family business. You know, people, my belief is people love family businesses. You know, I honestly believe there's a local furniture retailer that lost clout in the market when they were sold to the large corporation. One of their competitors, Bernie and Phil's Furniture, they're on there every single commercial touting the fact that they're a family business. Every single commercial. The other guys don't have that opportunity anymore. Family businesses have a tremendous, I believe, tremendous respect in the marketplace. People can really relate to them. Capitalize on that. Capitalize on the access to the informal capital markets. The fact that people will work hard for a family business because they feel that they're part of the family. Capitalize on that. Address areas for improvement, the last thing. Address areas for improvement in your business. Be honest with yourself. And again, it goes back to being professional. Address the issues that you have to address.